Beach Invitational. This is Tom, and I am accompanied by Jim.
How's it going,
Jim?
folks? We're here for the second annual Tiger Exotic Carol Baskins Joe the Tiger King Invitational, and we're proud to present the Everybody's Golf Pro-Am 9-hole, all for charity. Go ahead, Tom, tell us what the charity is going to be about.
Well, the one thing, Tom, is it's going to be about tigers that we know for sure. We just don't know if it's going to go for food, better food quality instead of Walmart, or if it's going to go to fund Carol Baskin's Killed Her Husband Fund.
Oh, and I've heard about that tiger meat that they feed them is just absolutely delicious, expired Walmart meat. And actually, I was just thinking about this. They do make a good point on that show that if you pick up a rack of ribs and you go up to the front of the counter and decide to change your mind, it has to go into the food waste bin. Tom, I have to ask, would you eat some ribs that have been put back on the shelf or actually discarded because it could no longer go back on the shelf? Or would you just go ahead and let it feed the tigers? Tom?
Well, at this point, Jim, after finding that out, I just got to say that I would definitely eat those ribs again if they had to put them back on the shelves. But now that I know that they could go to a hungry tiger, I may just take 3 or 4 racks up myself just to donate.
Amazing.
Wow, I've never looked at it that way, but you know what?
No.
I actually agree with you 100%. Let's go ahead. Oh, looks like the wiener went into some sand here. No one likes a sandy wiener. We're going to go ahead and find out if he can make something out of this. Looks like it's going to be a nice shot. Yuka is excited out there on the side of the wiener. What is this? TC has decided to show up in full Hello Kitty garb is what it looks like. Tom, can you explain what he's
Jim,
got going on?
This is I was hoping to explain to you today. It seems that there's been a substitution, that TC has been, his brain has been removed from his freakish body, and whoever has created him has actually turned him into some childlike owl figure.
Ooh, childlike owl. That was way off with my Hello Kitty because I obviously see now the giant orange ball on his head. Does this always happen to TC, Tom? Does he always have a ball smacking him around on the forehead?
It seems to be every now and then that there are a ball or two smacked around his forehead, but it doesn't seem to affect his game because he seems to be somewhat stronger in this childlike body.
There was a good point brought up by Mr. Exotic himself in the docuseries Tiger King, where he was asking whether or not one of his male partners liked to see the big one or the little one, and seeing now, I can clearly see that
Cool.
having some big ones doesn't quite make you straight, but it also doesn't make you gay either. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Tom?
No, not at all, Jim. That's correct. You obviously, if you do like to see the bigger ones, you're not that straight. But that's another point.
That's absolutely true. Looks like Wiener's lining up a shot. He checks the wind there just for a second. Is it going to go in? It's going to stomp. Oh, just short, 5 feet away from the hole. That's never where a Wiener wants to stop short, ever. Usually the wiener wants to go right into the hole. Tom, with your owl-like figure presented in front of you here and the giant orange ball, would you say that the TC has some sort of an advantage because he's smaller and the wind doesn't affect his backswing as much?
Yeah, it appears so, Jim. It seems like he definitely is lower for the wind resistance, but I don't know how well that's going to work because it seems like half of his body is completely sewn together, and those tiny bat-like wings, I don't think he's really going to be able to travel as far as you think.
I will say this, Tom, that a lot of what I'm seeing here is the lower half of his body looks to be like a goat-like figure with hooves, but not actual feet. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Jim. It seems to be that he appears to be black from the waist down.
Oh my. He looks like an amalgamation of an owl head, a sheep's torso, and some goat-like hooves for feet. But he is definitely darker from the waist down, Tom.
Yes, don't forget the bat wings, Jim. It's incredibly disturbing.
Oh, how could I forget those? Those little cute things are right on the back, just like a big back shot. Looks like Icy Wiener went 6 on that one, went bogey for 1 over, and it looks like TC went 1 under. We are starting to see the gap start early here, where TC is taking an early jump out on the lead. But this may work to the Wiener's advantage. It just depends. Looks like TC is standing in front of... Oh, Icy Wiener wants to make sure he's watching out.
I will say, Jim, that is oddly disturbing how fast that this new TC figurine can run.
It is freakish, I will admit, Tom. But here we are. I think this is a course that we have played on before. But being that this is the second Invitational, I can't recall the last time we played on this one.
That's correct. They have in fact played on this one before, and this is the one where TC gave up on the last hole. But
Okay.
I believe that was the 10 through 18 hole.
Oh, okay. So, good news is, let's not have any repeats here. Well, Mega Cup absolutely destroying any chance that Icy Wiener had to get in the hole, because usually he likes a much smaller, tighter hole with a Tornado Cup attached to the end of it. But as you can see, it's just not going to be in his favor on this one. Hopefully he gets it past the wetness.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately, just not going to happen
Let's try that
on
again.
that shot.
Concentrate.
It appears his caddy Elsa told him to watch out because she didn't want him to make it wet as well.
Don't know why everyone likes a wet wiener.
Woo. Cool.
Oh, I think he might have overshot that one.
That's what happens when you count your eggs before they're hatched, Jim.
And he puts it right into the bush, just like he normally does, and unfortunately hasn't seen a shaved fairway in quite some time. It's quite disturbing out here in the real world. Jim, I'm Tom.
Oh, yes, and I'm Tom, and you're Jim. And that's exactly what we're getting at. But it appears that it's just the craziest coincidences that he always misses the hole and goes straight to the top bush.
A break to the right.
Here it is, TC lining up his shot.
Here's
Smooth.
TC can't even find the hole. He has to zoom in closer and get a better look.
That's right. Sometimes, and I've been told, Tom, TC likes to really put his nose down right into the hole, just to get a good glimpse on how it's angled in. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes, depending on the course, it could be a very bad thing. What are your thoughts on this, Tom?
Yeah, Jim, I've seen him. It appears that when it's windy conditions,
Careful.
that he takes flour and throws it in the air just to try to find the hole and get the wind
A break
guidance.
to the left.
That's true. Sometimes these competitors like to go out onto the course and throw flour so they can see the hole better. But that's very rarely the case for these two. Zoomed
Oh, and
in right.
apparently TC's had his eyes closed this whole time. I don't know if they're sewn together or not, Jim.
It is disturbing, Tom. That is very disturbing. I will say I'm not a big fan of dolls or ones that can walk and be autonomous. Double bogey. Ooh, striking out twice in one hole. That's usually gonna not. That's usually not a good thing.
Usually Ganot's right, Jim.
That's right. Usually, that's about time to pack it up, folks. When you're at the bar and you get a double bogey, usually it's time to put your clubs away, pack it in for the night.
I gotta say, Jim, it could be early though in the round because it is double slot Wednesdays, and it seems to be hitting TC fairly hard now.
Yes, a lot on these older courses, double slot is always a good thing. You never know when you're going to hit that jackpot, especially with an older course like this. Finding a hole sometimes a little bit easier than others, but when you have something that's vanishing right in front of your eyes, going into the sand is not a place that TC wants to be.
Yeah, it seems like TC just hit his shots just a bit outside on that one.
That's right. Icy Wiener lining up for his shot. Here he goes for his second. Oh, Mega Cup. Entire impact zone is pink. Did he just win the lottery and everybody around him found out? Because now he's got a very big pink zone to hit his ball into. And the Wiener loves hitting into a pink zone.
Yeah, it seems that he all of a sudden just hit quite a hot streak here, Jim. Getting that pink zone entirely open. He's still in the rough, though, but that's not a bad thing when you got all that pink.
That's true. A lot of people are upset. Oh, and he goes right into the sand. That is not the pink that you want. You definitely don't want any sand in your pink. That's usually a bad day. But it doesn't matter. It's going to be a rough
one, Jim.
That's right. It's usually a cranky day for most people.
Yeah.
Oh, he just rips that one, and it goes a little bit. Oh, and it goes out of bounds. No, this is not a spot. I hope he brought a beach towel because he's going to be spending some time on the sand.
Oh, no. Things aren't looking good for Icy Wiener early in the game, Jim.
A lot of the times, the Wiener can make himself out of a tight situation and come out on top. But sometimes he just gets stuck in a hole and, unfortunately, just has to sit there and roll around in it. Terrible day, terrible start. We're on the 6th stroke for the Wiener, and TC's got himself in a very commanding position to find that hole. Let's see if he can do it here.
Jim, was it safe to say that maybe this tiny, creepy-like doll figure is Icy Wiener's kryptonite this round?
It would assume so. I mean, it appears this
I don't know what
creepy
that was.
Orange ball, little wing, sewn on bottom half. Wiener.
It seems to hit like he's thrusting outward, and I don't know why.
This is very odd for the Wiener to see, and he's going limp now at the sight of this little thing.
Oh no, Jim. It seems something has happened to maybe because his eyes are closed, or he's just that small.
I hope it's just a ploy because the Wiener is losing his... Oh, he's not even standing straight up anymore. Oh, God, he is limp.
We can definitely tell that it's still the Frankenstein-like monster that we've seen in the last Invitational because he still swings with one hand. I don't know if he realizes that he's only 3'2" this time, Jim.
He's got a definite height disadvantage for the... oh my goodness, if there was a tornado cup. And folks, this is why you want a smaller cup to put your ball into, because you will never satisfy every hole if it's that big.
Oh, Jim, a gimme's never what you want to see at the end of the night.
Downhill?
Mega cups are mega turnoffs for most professionals. And Tom, you being a professional, what's your experience with mega cups?
Well, Jim, it seems I've ran into a mega cup a time or two in my day, but it seems like they're far and few between the farther you get in your career, because naturally you can turn them off to the less experienced players. Jim.
Very good advice right there, and good insight to where you want to be as you get into your career. You don't always have to go for every hole. Sometimes you can play around or let someone else play through, if I'm gathering what you're saying. And that's very admirable, very professional.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jim, this just in. I'm getting word that this is the holes that TC actually gave up on last season.
Last season was brutal for TC, but let's see if he can do something with his weird amalgamation of a cat-like owl-winged creature with goat feet, black from the bottom down, and he just...
Oh, good Jesus Christ, Jim. He seemed like he hit that a mile, but it went straight into the sand.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you get close to the hole, and that is still considered a win. The only thing you don't want in this situation is for that ball to come up so short and to start turning blue. I've seen it happen before, and it is not pretty.
Oh my. Icy Wheatner couldn't get a better opportunity on this one, Jim.
Unfortunately, he just hasn't been hitting the gym, and it shows. 178-yard drive with 100% power, and it is just going to come up short. And as far as the Wiener, and I've talked to him before, he hates coming short. It's just not a pretty sight. Too early, too short. He wants to be in the game a lot longer than this, and unfortunately, sometimes he just doesn't have what it takes. He gets so excited on some of these holes that he just nothing he can do, and he ends up right in the sand, only inches away from TC. Tom.
I've noticed, Jim, just on that last camera angle that we've had, that I've seen that Icy Wiener has beginner balls. Something with beginner balls like that is just nothing you want in this time of the season, and especially when you come up with short performances like that.
That's right. Putting it into a turtle hole like this, you can't be a beginner and expect to perform. Otherwise, you're going to come up short. And unfortunately for Icy Wiener, that is what has happened here. TC lining up the shot and just lets it rip. Oh, and as an experienced pro, puts it just feet away from a hole. That is where you want to be starting out the night. We're going to go ahead and zoom it. We're zooming out. Zoom. How do you go up? Oh.
You hit the, there you go, Jim.
Sorry about that, Tom. The camera angles here in the booth are just
difficulties here.
Getting absolutely out of hand.
Jim, if I might say, it seems like Icy Wiener's balls are deep. They're very deep right now.
He's looking very intense. I think he's going to put this one. That's right. He sets himself up with a nice setup to get in by the end of the night.
Sloping up.
Oh, and I must say, Jim, to quote the great Happy Gilmore, somebody's closer. Good shot, Icy Wiener. Great shot.
Oh, and there it is. Folks, Tom has just pulled out some movie magic. We can quote movies all day. How's this? How about your sack? I think I tore one.
Oh my, did you see the magic on that shot, by the way, Jim?
Wow. There must be some voodoo going on, because this little doll is moving by itself with its eyes closed and a gigantic honker, and it just made the ball go 90 degrees right into the hole. Could be a little tornado cup action. Could be some absolute voodoo. Oh, and he comes up short.
Seems like Icy Wiener's putting to go through the back door there.
Nothing wrong with that, Tom. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm starting to wonder if Icy Wiener just wanted to restart this Invitational altogether.
Tom, I'm not sure, but it looks like Icy Wiener's been drinking quite a bit. I think he just laid down on the course.
Yeah, he seems to not be on with the. I don't think he understands this is the Invitational. Oh, ball landing cursor hidden for TC. That's a new one.
This could be brutal, especially on this hole.
As well as Gage vanishes. This is where Icy Wiener could catch up.
If only Icy Wiener had himself in a better position to present himself.
Oh, Jim, and TC just decides to get in a boat and swim home, Jim.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
It appears that TC is just staring back at the announcers as he's putting a curse on us. I really hope that's not the fact, Jim, because I'm going to have to go ahead and take a drink.
I am superstitious myself, and I can tell you, it is not good and not pretty. I've got a priest on standby, just in case he decides to get a little voodoo action. We're going to go ahead and Watch Icy Wiener line up the shot, and it just cranks right. He is not happy with that. It's a dog leg right into some bush. Oh my goodness, folks. Oh, he's still on the fairway by somehow, some miraculous way.
Oh, here comes that creepy little TC doll. I gotta tell you, Jim, I used to cheer for this guy, but I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies indeed. This is not good for anyone to be around this course on this hole at this time.
Oh, my, Jim. He is just letting this game get away from him.
Looks...
No! Out of bounds.
Yuka there for the call. Out of bounds it is. Tom, this is not looking good.
No, Jim, it's not. It appears it's TC shot again. This will be his third time driving, and every time he has shot, it has been out of bounds. It just doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. Oh, and he hit a great shot on this one. Let's see where this one ends up.
Amazing. Folks, this is what a true champion looks like. We're going to watch this in play.
Oh, no, Jim. I hate to stand you correct there. He seems to got his balls extremely wet.
Went right into the crack on that one, and that is not where you want to end up. But luckily, it was such a good hit that they're allowing him to drop the ball right where he wants, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Icy Wiener's going to set himself up, play it the safe way, and come in just a little bit short of the crack.
Speaking of safe way...
Oh, no. Please stop. Please stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that, Tom?
Nothing. We're good. It's just rough. Breaking news. Icy Wiener just happened to be just a little bit of the lady luck. Looks like the voodoo isn't quite as strong, luckily for Icy Wiener.
It appears that Icy Wiener was just so close from getting out of the rough to that sweet bare spot on path.
Everyone loves a good landing strip, but Tom, whenever you're playing golf, sometimes the landing strips can get you in trouble. You always have to check to make sure the age of the course is right where you want it to be, and luckily this course has been around for quite a few times. It's been a couple decades. I don't say how much because a gentleman never asks, but I want to say it's at least 2 to 3 decades. And some of these holes are much larger than others, but that's okay. It's better than being visited by a man named Chris Hansen and the worst possible time.
That's
Tom?
correct, Jim. These courses are very vintage. There's no troubles here on these courses. Oh, and it appears TC shot again. He does not seem to know where the green is today, Tom. Jim. Sorry about that. I just had a glitch in the system because TC
Tom,
was staring
it's
at
fine.
Me,
We've all been there.
As fuck.
We've all been there, Tom, and it's okay. We're going to go ahead and...
folks, it's just a bit creepy.
Hey, we're going to come back in on this one here with TC, and he seems to have gotten... Oh, what a nice approach. Yuka seems to agree.
I tell you what, Jim, it seems like TC is just pissing away a lead that he had early on in this game.
Icy Wiener just couldn't get into that large hole, and unfortunately for him, it's going to cost him another stroke.
Speaking of strokes, we're on number 9 for TC. On a par 4. That's not going to look good for him with a +4.
Not look good at all, Tom.
Oh, a +5. Oh, there we go. Excuse me, Jim. I have to take a water break.
Looks like after this hole, Tom, Jim is going to go get himself a little beverage from the cart girl that seems to be dry. Oh, he overshot this one terribly, but it still went in the hole. We are about, halfway through our second invitational, and it is a clincher.
I tell you what, Jim, it seems like TC just doesn't know what he's doing today on the course. But then again, when you get slots like that, who could play?
Sluts like that never turn out good. Those are
Sluts will always blind you, Jim.
They will always blind you. Absolutely, Tom. Just gonna open this water here. Two things that he already had coming into the game. But we're going to see how it pans out onto the course here today.
Now, Jim, is it just me, or does it seem like that creepy little doll is staring directly at us in the announcer's booth, Jim?
Nice shot.
You're not the only one, Tom. I can feel the heat. He is definitely staring into the booth, and I can see his mouth moving, but his eyes are just clenched shut, so I don't know what he's saying. Can you make out what he's saying?
It seems to be he's speaking in some kind of an old language that I just can't pronounce, Jim. It's just something very, very historic. And I feel like maybe that priest should come in just in case.
Okay, I will call Tom. I will call the father right now. Father Philip, if you could get over here for a second. Something is going on with this competitor out here. Frankenstein, the last invitational we had, actually wasn't too bad, even though he just stared with his lifeless eyes and made no comments. But here we have this demonic doll, and it is off-putting.
Off-putting is the least we could say, Jim. I'm starting to wonder if this is in fact TC at all and just not an entirely different entity.
That is very possible, because at Everybody's Golf, anything can happen. And right now we are witnessing a Tornado Cup in for a birdie. And there it is. This is where the wiener can possibly inch his way a little closer to victory.
That's right, Jim. Maybe the wiener could, in fact, get the holes that he needs to, and he could actually score.
But with 7 and 8 and possibly 9 right around the corner, it's going to be down to the wire.
Oh, and Jim, TC seems to be pointing mercilessly in some direction. I just hope we're not in those crosshairs.
I think we were, Tom, and it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Hole 7. It's par 4.
Thank God there's only 3 holes to go, Jim.
That's
because
right.
After this, I'm going to go home and pray.
Luckily for me, I stopped by and got some holy water, knowing who we were going to be playing with and against. And, commenting on this game has definitely left me an uneasy feeling. But, throughout all competitions, you're always going to feel some sort of way about the competitors. And for me, I can't tell you enough, but I like how the wiener is playing today, and it is playing hard, strong golf. But TC just seems to be in some weird trance, and it is off-putting. His pants are sewn onto his lower bottom there, Tom.
Oh man.
Tom, if you could.
Yes, Jim. Sorry.
Tom, your mic was on the whole time. We could hear your.
I just they're allergies, Jim.
That's right, Tom. Tom suffers from a lot of allergies.
I just didn't know if possibly maybe I bumped you. If you would excuse me.
Tom, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm going to take a quick commercial break for myself. Tom, go ahead and entertain the folks while I relieve myself for just a minute.
Yeah, no problem, Jim. Right here, we are on hole number 7.
Fuck yeah.
We see Icy Wiener is getting ready to attempt a 168-yard drive, as well as that is his maximum that he can possibly do. With 262 yards remaining,
fuck yeah.
he will get close enough, but not enough to probably win this tournament.
Tom, I'm back. Tom, I'm back in the booth. I just wanted to let you know that the weather right now is so great. Everything is great. Everything is perfect. I couldn't be happier. Tom, let's talk a little bit more about the TC little character there, because he is just something else, and I actually am super scared. But it doesn't matter. I talked to one of my buddies, and looks like Wiener hit some of the bush. But either way, we're back. How's it going, Tom? Tom, are you there? Tom?
Yes.
You didn't leave me. Oh,
yes,
Tom.
Jim, I'm here. It seems that the allergies have hit you a little faster than they've hit me.
Yeah, you could say that.
I guess.
Yep.
I guess maybe I should take more of my allergy medicine.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I will entertain the folks while you go take some more some allergy medicine. Everyone needs a little bump from the allergy medicine every once in a while. Folks, what we have here is just a classic case of golf, putting the ball in the hole. It looks like TC only has 30 seconds left. He's going to have to go ahead and hit the ball. There it is. Oh, my goodness. He let that one rip all the way. Frito-Lay. We are on the green, if you know what I mean. Oh, my gosh. I am just cranked up right now on some allergy medicine, and I am feeling great. Tom, are you back? Tom? Tom,
Jim, yeah. Jim, yep. I'm here, Jim.
Oh, my
goodness. Here we are.
Wow, we are just, two...
This is some invitational that we're at right now. Can you believe the sunshine that we're having on these conversations?
Absolutely.
As well as this course.
Man, I heard that.
Oh God, it's just beautiful. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
Man, we only have 2 more holes, and we can go like drive my car around or something. I don't know, and then maybe go get some food. Tom, would you be interested in some food, Tom?
Tom, I would totally. I'm Tom. I'm Tom. You're Jim. You're Jim.
Tom, I'm Jim. I'm Jim.
Okay. I'll tell you what. After we get some food, I would love to go outside and go see these beautiful ocean liners. Maybe even rent a boat or two. I could buy a boat. You could buy a boat. Would you want me? Would you like me if I bought a boat?
So buying a boat right now because the amount of money that we're making as a commentator on this. Oh, absolutely.
Me? You?
No,
I buy a boat. You buy? I do.
My credit right now is kind of low, but I can probably make it work with some financing. Oh.
Yeah. We can totally. Yeah. We can do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man,
I tell you what,
this is so great.
This is just so great.
This is great
competition. I cannot believe how neck and neck these guys are. This is just a fierce competitiveness between these two.
Gosh.
I cannot believe it.
Icy Wiener just missed the hole. Icy Wiener missed the fucking hole.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry.
Well,
sorry, folks.
Starting to come down a little bit from my allergy medicine. So
we're just getting. This is a very intense game. We're just kind of getting into the mood here. We're gonna try to. We're gonna try to.
Oh man, I got the
level
drip.
with you guys.
I got the drip going on right now.
Hold 8. It's a par 4.
Okay.
My nose is running.
Hey.
Wipe that off real quick.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Shit, you got me.
Anyways, guys, TC shot on the 8th hole, par 4. I'm cool. I'm straight. We're waiting for slot shots.
Hey man, I'm back. Just had to take care of some things. I apologize for earlier. We're back on the 8th hole, par 4,
Is it cold here, by the way?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little jittery. Are you feeling jittery? I'm feeling the jitters.
Jim, my name's Tom. Your name's Jim. I'm just all of a sudden
this guy's
a little chilly.
Tom.
I'm just a little chilly.
Is your name John?
Jim Richards?
Nice shot.
Is that is your
Tim.
full name, correct?
I'm
Jim?
Tim and
Jim
you're
Richards?
John. You're John. I'm Tim.
John Tim?
John. My name is John. Wouldn't that be
Ritz?
crazy if my name was John instead of Jim?
I feel like I should be John Timritz.
Ooh. And your nickname is Tim for short. My name
Tim.
is Jim Tonritz. But they
You're
call
Jim
me
Richards.
But they call me Jim for short.
I thought it was Chim Richards.
It is Jim Richards. You're crazy, man.
Nice shot.
Oh man. Oh, yeah.
Thank God we took those downers, Jim.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Oh god. I mean, what downers?
Yes, that's correct. Downers are the shots that these guys are taking because they are blowing my high.
I agree. There are just some instances where they could be doing better, but they just aren't.
Jesus
Oh
Christ, Jim.
my
These
gosh.
guys, have they ever played golf before?
I think Icy Wiener just set himself up for a great setup, but he ruined it with a little bit of that ramp right there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and line this one up, if you know what I mean, Tim. I mean Tom. Tim is our the pastor that came by earlier, and he blessed us from this demonic creature that's about to about to hit the ball. His name. Did that go backwards, Tom?
Jim, I gotta tell you, I don't fucking know because I can't see.
You can do all right. Give it a good stunt.
You know, it's hard to tell with my sunglasses on in here in the booth. I understand.
It's too bright outside.
Just extreme. My pupils are for some reason they're dilated. I don't understand what.
In a very confusing term of events, TC just punted out of the butler.
Tom, I'm gonna have to stop you there. Did you say term of events or turn of events?
Right now, Jim, I don't know what I said.
Sounded like you said term of events, and I wouldn't blame you because the terms of these events are just absolutely astronomical.
Oh, and a thud from TC.
I think this was the hole that TC ended up not getting on the last one.
No, I believe that was the last hole there, Jim.
Yes.
Oh, Icy Wiener sets himself up with a clean shot right into the hole. Oh my goodness, folks, that is a whopper right there for a birdie, bringing him a little bit closer to that first place mark. Let's see if TC can bring it home right before the last hole. Yuka is super excited on this one. Tom, I'm not feeling so good, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know, Jim. I don't know if those were fentanyl we took, or... Oh no, Jim.
Tom, I'm starting to bleed out of my nose, Tom.
My day.
I'm hallucinating a bit. Uh-oh. I gotta tell you what, Jim. My screen went blank.
What, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Jim.
Tom, it says TC retired, and I don't understand. Was he upset about the whole thing, or was there a technical malfunction here? Because I can't quite put my finger on it.
You know what, Jim? I think I lost connection.
That's you know what, folks? We're gonna go ahead and kind of pull this down into a hold here. We're gonna finish this hole, and hopefully we can still get some action here from Tom. Tom, can you even see the game going on right now?
No, I cannot, Jim.
Well, I can, and let me just say, things are going a little bit haywire here because Icy Wiener is lining up the last hole, and it's a par 5, and with his weak, absolutely pitiful swings, he can only crank it about 200 yards at a time per stroke, and the Wiener ended up into a hole in a sandy mess. No one likes a sandy Wiener. Unfortunately, that's where he's at.
Jim, it appears that TC has went all the way into the regular lobby.
This is not good.
I don't know how that happened.
Tom, something has happened, and we are unfortunately going to have to play this one through. But no matter, it looks like TC is going to win this one, even if Icy Wiener finishes the entire match by himself, which is what he's doing. It's just because he's got so many extra strokes on the Wiener, then I just don't think he's going to come to a victory. Oh boy. Tom, can you tell us a little bit of what you're seeing right now?
Well, I tell you what, Jim, I'm seeing a whole lot of blackness. I don't know if I'm passing out or if I just hit the sauce too much, Jim.
That is not good. Blacking out is never a good thing, unless you're at home with friends.
Good
So we're going to finish this one with one extra stroke, and here we go. Tom seems to be passing out in the booth right next to me. Tom? Tom?
Yeah. Yeah, Jim. Hey, man.
Tom, listen.
Hello.
You're going to need these smelling salts. I will give them to you here in a second if you don't.
Jim Richards. Hey, man. We know everybody.
I won. I'm sorry. It looks like Icy Wiener won because the other player retired completely. And unfortunately for him, he can't be here to experience that win. So with a total score of 8 over, Icy Wiener takes the Invitational of sheer miraculousness because
That is a surprise turn of events, Jim.
yes, and Yuka is also excited. She's clapping in the corner. We're going to go ahead and end that broadcast here, folks. We have many more sponsors lined up for us, but here from the coronavirus quarantine, we are going to go ahead and sign off. This has been Jim Richards and my partner, Tim Jackson, signing off and saying sayonara. See you next time, and we will have ourselves a ball. Have a good night and good